so that's the one I want to do. That's the one.
Okay, at 7 o'clock, I'll call a meeting to order. It's Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. We're in the council chambers. It's 7 p.m. Would the clerk call the roll?
Mayor Hart. Councilmember Phillips.
Here.
Councilmember Welch.
Here.
Councilmember Beach.
Here.
Councilmember McCoy. Mayor Pro Tem Dobson.
Here.
And Councilmember Funky.
Okay, there being a quorum present, I'll call the meeting to order. I'll do the invocation if everybody will stand. Glorious God, you promised to open doors of blessing and abundance for your people. We ask that you would work mightily in us today. Come upon us and cause us to have a productive meeting. Lead each one of us so that we can make fruitful contributions at this time. Enable us to think and strategize in ways that will achieve great results. Purify our thoughts and motives so that each one of us will enter this meeting desiring the good of others and the pleasure of your name. Amen. Mr. Van Hoos, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Need approval of agenda?
Make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
I'd like to excuse the mayor and McCoy from the meeting tonight. Motion to excuse.
Do you hear your second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Mayor and Councilman McCoy excused. Next on the agenda is the approval of minutes of the regularly scheduled council meeting of April 4th, 2023. Need a motion?
Motion. Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. And we've got approval of payroll and claims for the first half of April 2023. Need a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion over payroll and claims? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda is Sarah Rothweiler, Hannibal J.C.'s.
I'm going to go ahead and present that.
You present
It's on the
that?
agenda, but I didn't tell them it was on the agenda, so they're not here.
Okay, okay.
So basically, it's the same as every year. We need closures on Broadway for the parade. We need to use the Armory parking lot for the carnival. We need South Main Street and Line closed for the carnival. And then we'll need Main Street closed at Hill Street for fence painting.
Got your insurance?
Okay,
Make a motion to approve.
everything's on file.
Second.
All those in favor, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And motion carries.
I tell people all the time that that is the one festival to make, that and Folk Life Festival. These are the best two that we have. And the 4th of July parade.
Next on the agenda is April Azate. Questions for City Council and Mayor? April here?
Walking in right now.
Okay,
I'm willing to wait.
okay.
You want to knock out some appointments while we do?
Sure. The mayor had appointments, a second reading for tree board for Paul Ewer. This appointment's for a term to expire September 2024. Need a motion to approve?
Motion made.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Gracious thank you to the tree board for handling all that stuff. They were giving out trees today for anyone who's cut a Bradford pear tree down. So, bully on them.
Next set of appointments is for the Historic Development District Commission, or HDDC. Bob Gapp for an appointment for a term to expire May 2024. Andrew Wickstrom, appointment for a term to expire May 2028. No roll call, that's the first reading. Sure. Then Lisa Peck, city manager, had a couple of appointments, or one appointment for a first reading for planning and zoning. Andrew Wickstrom for an appointment for a term that expired June 2024. Again, that's a first reading, so no roll call. April, you're up.
You're up.
We went past you and we're coming back.
Sorry, my dog decided to take off after some beer.
Did they catch him?
Where are we at on the investigation? Have we heard anything yet?
No. And, I mean, I can't speak for James, but
I had sent her an email last Friday. I was hoping I'd have something tonight, but I hadn't heard anything back.
I know that she's still doing investigation and she's putting the rest of her pieces together.
Oh, I thought last meeting that we were done with it. Like,
We were hoping.
So there's still people that she has to interview?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that she was done. That's my mistake there.
last I heard, Angel was her last one, but maybe that changed.
Yeah, that was my understanding too, but I don't know. I haven't spoken.
I know, but I don't want to say their name out loud. It would implicate them.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I don't want to name names, but I know that she's still talking to people she's already talked to.
So the investigator told you that she's still talking to people?
No, somebody else told me that they were investigated.
Gotcha, okay.
That she was,
This is the what meeting of this year? Fifth, sixth meeting of this year?
2 a month, so 8.
8.
Eighth? The reason why I'm asking is because I had several questions for the city manager and the mayor, and I'm pretty sure this, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the third time you're filling in for him this year?
And second, I believe, but I could
Okay.
be wrong on that.
It's just, there's been several meetings that I've either wanted to ask certain things or things have constantly been tabled because several people are gone, and it's just pretty ridiculous. The end of last meeting, Mr. Veach, you had asked to table something. Do you remember that?
5-year plan.
Yeah, the 5-year plan. When were you guys given that?
that day.
And more specifically, I've been told that you guys were given that like basically 5 minutes before the meeting.
That's about right. We just didn't have time to read it.
Well, 5 minutes is not really long at all to read that.
That's why we tabled it.
Right, but it's kind of come to my attention that not only has the manager report that's been turned down time and time again to be transparent with not only the public, but to kind of keep all of you informed on things. There's several things that I feel like you guys aren't informed on or informed a very last minute. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the audit in November or December, you guys were given that right before the meeting and then asked to vote on it.
Those have always been that way. For the 12 years I've been here.
It was not that way in 2021. Angel sent it out to us the week before we were asked to vote on it.
Okay, I don't recall that, but
Okay.
could be.
For the record, I
And-
find
and
that to be a problem as well.
I'm sorry, can you say
For the
that?
record, I find that to be a big problem as well, receiving
Me
information on
as
the
well.
day of the vote.
It's kind of hard for you guys to like vote on things, like whether it's the budget or whatever, when you don't have enough time to like read it, which I'm glad that you asked for it to be tabled. I'm sure somebody else would have, but the manager report that I know both you guys have asked to be passed multiple times is to keep not only you guys informed, but the rest of the city. And I will email this to everybody, including the mayor and the manager. But the city of Bloomington, Illinois has a very beautiful manager's report out, 63 pages, and measuring performance, targeting results. The manager has even wrote something in regards to it's important to them to keep the city informed, and they actually won a gold award nationwide for communications and publications to keep the city and its citizens informed at all times. Again, I will email this to everybody, but I feel like this would be a perfect city to mimic.
I happen to agree with you. Actually, I have a full report of everything
Can you
that's
speak in the
happening.
microphone? I can't
Yeah.
really hear you, sorry.
We actually have a full report on everything that the city manager's doing, and it's listed on the website for everyone to see.
When did that happen? Have you guys all seen this?
Last week.
Yeah, it's on the website now, and
Okay.
it's for everyone to see.
And if I go to the city's website, where would I go to find that?
You don't have to, I'll give you this one.
Well, just like in the future, in the future.
The homepage, over to the left, it says city reports.
Okay.
And
I believe it says
we
city
like Jim's
manager's
idea
report.
of it being online. So I asked the city manager if she could put it online, and going forward, that's where you'll be able to find it every month. So thank
Wonderful.
you for that.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's because of your comments that we put this online.
But I don't think it's just me. I think a lot of people want to see it. And not just for us, but I think it's good for you guys. I know that
I think it's great for the public to know what
McCoy
we're
has
doing.
said he doesn't really care about going to lunch or whatever. It's not even about that. It's about, to me, the city should be setting goals, and this is praising those departments that are doing wonderful jobs to see those goals through.
Yeah.
I just personally think that it's important, and it's more uncommon for cities not to have this than the other way around, so I don't really understand why it got tabled so many times. Also, just a little update, because I know you guys are wondering. Since November 15th, since Angel has been put on administrative leave, we're now at over $33,000 that we've paid her to be on administrative leave, in case anybody wondered. So, that's all I have for you guys tonight, since
Okay.
the manager and the mayor is not here. I'll save those for next meeting.
Okay. Well, thank you.
We got you, Pepsi. Thank you.
Moving right along, Mike Murphy, building inspector. The sale of city-owned property at 1214 Lion Street.
Evening, Mayor Pro Tem Council. Just come for you tonight to ask for the sale of the 1214 Lion Street. It was city-owned property. The Clifford Wood, he owns the property right next door, just wants to make his yard a little bigger. This lot was, well, it's only like 22 feet wide and not, you couldn't build on it, so just ask for you guys to consider that. It'll be a resolution to follow.
Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
Resolution 2452-23 to follow. Darren Gordon, Board of Public Works, General Manager, Stormwater Committee, City Council participation.
Hello, everyone. We are going to be holding the first Stormwater Committee meeting on May 4th at 6 o'clock p.m. at the HBPW Conference Room. We have gone out and reached out to 14 of our citizens who have been recommended by both you as councilmen, the mayor, also as HBPW board members, and people that have attended a recent stormwater community meeting. And so we've reached out. We have 14 people that are representing industry, residential, commercial, renters, developers, and what we would like is I would like and ask that we have one member of the city council representing the city to be on that committee. And that is my request.
Darren, I'd like to be on that committee.
Okay, I'm going to let you as a council determine what you want to do. How's that?
I can make a motion to make Colin our representative on the Stormwater Committee.
I'll second. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Awesome.
Thank you, Darren.
Colin.
Thank you very
Hey,
much.
Darren,
Thanks, Stefan.
one more time. When and where is it?
It's going to be May 4th, 6 o'clock p.m. at the Hannibal Board of Public Works Conference Room at 3 Industrial Loop.
Public is still welcome to attend, right?
Absolutely. It's going to be an open meeting, so anyone and everyone can attend, and it will also be put out virtually.
Cool.
So everyone can attend who would like to.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you all.
I know that you, yesterday with your board's interested in the process as well, and you're posting that meeting to negate any sunshine law violations. So I'm interested, I know Colin to be there, Stefan may be there. If a fourth is going to be there, then our meetings should be posted as well. I don't know, does anybody else plan to attend?
If you would like, I will gladly, we will coordinate with Melissa, and
Okay.
she can post it as well as ourselves, and then you're covered, whoever wants to
Okay,
attend.
please do, that way we're not in violation of sunshine law on that.
Absolutely.
All right,
Perfect.
thank you.
Good idea, Mike.
Bianca Quinn, Finance Director, present the 5-year capital improvement plan. Good evening.
Hello. Okay, did anyone have any questions on the capital improvement plan that I can answer for them?
We went over it pretty good.
Good.
I sat through it at planning and zoning, so,
That's right, I remember.
yes.
It was interesting reading.
I'm sorry, what?
Interesting reading.
Good. Yeah, we revamped the format a little bit, hoping that it would be a little bit easier to follow.
It's certainly prettier.
Huh?
It's certainly prettier.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, and now the second thing I
Okay,
have.
so
I'm sorry.
on the 5-year capital plan, resolution number 2451-23 will follow. And then this one, I'm real excited about. Go ahead.
The city's in dire need of a new accounting software. The one that we have does not work very well for us. It's very antiquated, it's cobbled together. One part of the system does not talk to another part of the system. There's no budgeting module that forces us to do our entire budget in Excel, which is a problem. So we went out for a proposal. I had 3 responses. The one that we would like to go with is Cassell. Their implementation costs were less than the others, and their annual fees were all kind of in the same realm. I know that the city of Moberly just implemented this particular program in November. I contacted that finance director, and now that they've survived implementation, they're all very happy with it. So they gave us a good recommendation. So I would ask to have your approval to go ahead with that proposal. It does say $70,650. We would pay half of that up front, and the other half at the end of training and implementation, which will probably be at least 12 months out. I'm hoping to have this program up and running to start the following fiscal year.
I do have a couple of questions. How many
Yes.
people do you look to train?
How many do we look at training?
Yes.
Probably the core group, which would be Melissa, myself, Jessica, and then we would train down.
Okay, then my question was, it's going to take you all away from your job, and from reading the documents, you're going to have to be set up in the room with each of you with a control station.
Actually, that's for on-site training. I want to do online training instead. We do have that
Is
option
that
in there as
possible?
well.
I read that's what I was going to ask. It's $37,000 for training, and they're headquartered in Utah.
Yes.
I was going to ask, would it be less expensive to send 3 people to Utah for the training, or?
We did look at that. I don't think any of us are comfortable leaving for a week with us being so short-staffed and the many hats that we all wear. The ones that, those of us for the training are pretty computer savvy and quick to pick up new programs. We think we can make that work to just do it online.
Is online available?
Yes.
Okay, because I missed that part.
Yeah, what I asked him to go ahead and quote me online and on-site.
Okay,
So they would come here as well if we need them to.
okay. And just reading through what it does, it's just going to help you all immensely.
It's going to be revolutionary. Yes.
Melissa's telling me, you guys are still handling, paper time cards.
Paper time cards and all the paper requests for payments and everything will be electronic. It's going to be very nice.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming, so
Yes.
I'm glad we've gotten there.
In fact, I think the previous finance director was going to try and implement that, and then I'm not sure what happened, but this is one of the first things that I wanted to take care of.
Okay.
So we need to get moving.
Thank you for your work and dedication on that. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a few. This is budgeted for, right?
Yes.
Awesome. And I think it's been budgeted for past 3 years or so, right?
Yeah, probably so.
Okay, so that's just my way of saying it's long been acknowledged as something that we need to do, and for whatever reason it hasn't happened. So I'm grateful for you and whoever helped you push it across the finish line. I'm just profoundly grateful, and I'm going to share another couple examples of why this is such a good thing, because to a normal person, $70,000 for software seems like a lot, but this is so vital, and I want people to understand that. And if I'm incorrect in any of my explanations, please correct me. But I was just having some conversations with Melissa last week or a couple weeks ago or something, and from what I understand, the way you guys currently do this is on a DOS green screen computer, maybe like I had in elementary school in the 90s. And so when you said the computers don't talk to each other, when information goes from the collector's office to the clerk's office, it literally gets printed out, walked over, and retyped in, right?
Yes, onto Excel spreadsheets.
Okay. And a process that, doing payroll, for example, is my understanding that it takes 2, sometimes even 3 days sometimes to simply process payroll.
Yeah, and it's not just on Melissa's part. On each individual department, it takes us a long time to get the information to where we can get it to her on paper, or she has to hand key everything back in again. It's a mess.
Doing bi-weekly payroll, in other words, takes, I think it'd be fair to say, dozens of hours.
Yes.
And so when this is all said and done, it will take not dozens of hours.
That is correct.
And you folks will be able to, use your time on different things.
In more ways than payroll, when this will automatically update ledgers, it will when you push enter, it's going to fill everything where it needs to be filled. We don't have to go back and redo it. We won't have there's always a chance for error when you're hand keying stuff in, and then we always have to go back and double check everything. We're going to have a lot of time to devote to other things.
Cool, that's awesome. And this is a question I don't know the answer to. A couple years ago, I asked Angel for some financial information, and to her credit, she was helpful. She said, "Stefan, I know that information exists, but it exists on like page 73 of like a 150-page document. And if you don't want us to print it all, I can kind of get what you wanted on page like 9, but it won't be as perfect as what you wanted." And I know that's a vague example, but does that sound like something that might occur with the current software we have?
Well, for one, I think these monthly reports that you're getting, you'll actually be able to read them.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, they're very difficult to read now and make heads or tails of, and unless you've had years of experience looking at them, they're hard to read. So yes.
No. They lack context and any sort of comparisons, and so...
This has a very robust reporting module that we can even customize to a certain extent.
So you'll be able to look at where you're at on any line item versus budget?
Yes.
Yeah, where we don't have now.
Yes.
This is long overdue. This is long overdue.
Yes.
So, hey, thank you for letting me be so long-winded, but I'm incredibly grateful for doing this. Thank you.
Any other questions, council?
I just want to say one more thing that it will do, though. I'm so excited. Don't know how this is going to change so many lives, so many jobs. But another really important aspect of it is the business license and the way that we will be able to serve the community with business license.
Yes.
They will have the capability to renew online and things like that. So
yes, this company actually does have a partnership with someone to where we can get that online payment going off the website.
I mean, it will be a huge upgrade especially for your corporations like Wendy's and Walmart and those who really have trouble getting, the renewals down the line. So as far as, it will change our lives a lot, but it will also really impact a lot of the community as far as business licenses and things like that were available to do. In combination with the website, I think it's really going to be a really good change for the community and the way that they can get a hold of us, communicate, and request information and that kind of thing. So I'm super excited. I'm trying to hold my excitement down because I'm super excited.
Okay, so resolution number 2453-23 to follow. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now you want to request,
Yes, the budget schedule, I would like to go ahead and set that today. I propose to have the budget workshop on Wednesday, May 17th at 5:30. Then hold our public hearing at 6:30 on Tuesday, June 6th, followed by the approval of the first reading, and then the final reading and approval of the budget on June 20th. So today I would ask your approval of the schedule and the Committee of the Whole Council Budget Workshop on the 17th at 5:30. And I would also request council approval to set the public hearing for the purpose of discussing the 2024 budget on Tuesday, June 6th at 6:30.
June what?
I'm sorry.
June what?
June 6th.
It's the first council meeting in June.
Does anybody have questions about the budget workshop or
Are they going to
the?
work when you do 6 o'clock?
I'm sorry?
Public hearing? 6:30, we have our public
6:30.
speaking half hour. We want to do the public hearing at 6:15?
I really don't think it's going to be a problem.
Nobody signed up yet, but I mean, it's done.
So,
Motion to set budget schedule.
okay.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Roll call, please.
Does that date not work?
No, the time doesn't. The
The
rules
time
are
doesn't?
promulgated, says the speaking period's at 6:30.
Okay. So
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Councilmember Welch?
yes.
Councilmember Beach?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
And Councilmember Bronke?
No.
Okay, motion carried. Then you got some records you want to get rid of.
Yes, apparently.
Sorry about that.
It looks like we have some account payables documents and credit card statements and receipts that we would like to dispose of per RSMO. So we were asking for approval to destroy those records.
Questions? Need a motion to approve?
Second.
No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jacob Nackey, Chief of Police, bid approval of emergency vehicles. Evening, Chief.
Good evening. Thank you for having me here tonight. Tonight I come here in reference to our emergency vehicle. Our current fleet was purchased in 2018, making them 5 years old. We were actually budgeted in our current fiscal year for a lease payment on new vehicles. However, we kind of looked into some other alternative funding methods earlier in the year, and frankly, there weren't any state contracts for vehicles because you couldn't find them. We learned that a vehicle supplier might have some vehicles coming toward the end of this fiscal year, beginning of next fiscal year. So we went out for bid on those vehicles, which we advertised that, and we received the bid from Carl Emergency Vehicles of Des Moines for $791,361.20. It reflects the bid for the actual 12 vehicles. We included a fire department vehicle. If you noticed in the capital improvement plan, the fire department was looking for another vehicle. I think they have some older vehicles that have a lot of miles on it. They kind of rotate them through with the new one. kind of a way we do with some of our vehicles that we keep. For example, like my vehicle that I currently drive will go on and it gets kind of reused and cycled down through the line on some of our non-essential stuff. But in looking at our current fleet we have today, I learned today that we actually have a rubber band holding a turn signal blinker up against the steering column, because otherwise you have to sit there and physically hold it with like your hand to keep it from activating. I'm going to go ahead and repair that as soon as we can. But just, it's things like that. We've had to replace ball joints, starters, brakes, a condenser, radiator replacement, transmission, engine mount, transmission lines, water pumps, things like that. Those examples just right there were $8,818. So we're getting to the point where all of our vehicles have over 100,000 miles on them. So it's to the point where I think the other day we just had enough vehicles to meet our demand for the officers we have. And having said that, we're significantly understaffed. So if we actually had all the people that we're budgeted for, we wouldn't have enough cars. So
Bicycles.
what?
Bicycles.
We do have bicycles, and it's getting to that weather.
That's funny.
But I encourage you, if we want to meet at the foot of Broadway sometime, we can ride up to the gas station up here. I've done it before. It's
still got
uphill
the
the whole way.
road?
It's fun. It's a good workout.
You still have a motorcycle?
We do have a motorcycle, and actually we look to send somebody to school in May for that. So that is a alternative, but we can't put prisoners on that. So
Are you gonna let out the rest of them for bids? Public?
we've had somebody look at them before for
Right.
like trade-ins, and they basically don't have any trade-in value hardly anymore. Basically, we met with Purple Wave Auctions the other day.
Third party?
And a third party come in to basically we'd hold an auction, and we'd have to do some work like take the lights off of them and peel our decals are black and white. The white part is all vinyl, so we'd have to peel all that off.
I would have thought it was the opposite.
Yeah, there.
And Chief, how many vehicles are you talking about at that number, that 791 number?
That is 12 SUVs, 12 Chevy Tahoes, 11 for the police department and 1 for the fire department.
Okay.
And Chief, just to clear something up, my car is 10 years old and I'm not getting a new one. But the difference is that yours get used hard and consistent.
Yeah. So I have a vehicle that has over 100,000 miles on it. My wife drives it to work a lot, mainly because I want to get her new one all dinged up. But these cars idle a lot as well. I don't have the hour estimates on all of them, but if you can see like this picture here, that's the front bumper of one of ours. So they sit kind of low to the ground. They catch some of these dips in the road that we frequently have. And I'm not picking on the streets. They're just the way Hannibal is geographically laid out. There's a lot of dips and things like that, but they run 24/7. We don't have take-home cars because we need 30-something cars for that. But with that, these cars at 6 o'clock when we change shifts, one officer takes their stuff out of it, another one takes it. If your personal car did that every day, I'm sure it wouldn't probably fare as well. And these cars have done okay. We found like with the Durangos, they don't hold up so well on the ones we have. So.
Chief, for that price, are those turnkey? Except for radios, I think radios.
Yeah, we look at moving over our radios and radar units. So when you see that price, it's not just the vehicle. That includes lights, sirens, laptop mounts, cages, the bars in the windows, the plastic prisoner seats that we put in the back. And if you've had someone throw up in the back of your car before, you'll understand why that's important. All those things. And modems for the internet so that we can run the computers. So there is an upfront cost there, but these vehicles should be relatively ready to go once we get them. And they're hoping to get those vehicles in toward the end of this budget year, June, to where they might be ready for July. I'm crossing my fingers, July, August, but we basically need approval at this point to tell him to go ahead and start ordering the equipment, because there's a significant inventory of lights and siren boxes and things like that they need to start kind of stockpiling, and they don't want to do it until we give them the okay, which I think is fair. So.
Chief, I'll give you the motion you want, but real quick before that, you mentioned it early and tangentially related. How understaffed are you guys?
Right now, I believe we're at 31 officers. We're budgeted for 36. I'm hoping to send, I think, 3 to the academy, but at the same time, I'm looking at possibly 3 retirements in the next fiscal year. So basically, I'll be back at 31, 32. So, you know, it's kind of detrimental. There's a lot of things I'd like to do. I'd like to add, you know, another person in our drug unit. I'd like to have another detective. I'd like to have, you know, more people on each shift. The more people on the shift, the more, you know, spread out we can be. But that's something we're trying to work through, and we're trying to recruit a lot. We just have to kind of keep up with our retirements. And unfortunately, with some of these people that are wanting to retire, we're going to lose 20 plus years of experience per person with someone who just graduates the academy. So that's something I'm concerned about, but you know, we do what we can.
All right, well, thanks for the explanation, and I'll make a motion to
Accept the bid.
accept the bid.
Awesome. Multiple seconds.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Next item.
A while back, we applied for this is a long one, American Rescue Plan Act, state and local fiscal recovery funds, police officers grant. Got that one time. But it was a grant where you could get up to $20,000 with as long as you matched another $20,000 through the ARPA program, where you could use it for public safety expenses. We applied for computer equipment. We have a lot of computers that are still running Windows 7, and they're kind of vulnerable because they're not supported by Microsoft anymore. So we were awarded that, and basically I just have tonight I just have the approval for the sub-award agreement to be signed so that we can go ahead and move forward, because we'll have to go out for some type of bidding process on the next phase of this, which I'm not ready for.
Questions? I need a motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Oh, yeah, motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
Melissa Cogdill, Deputy City Chief, approval of website upgrade.
So continuing on with the good news tonight, I was recently directed by the council on some concerns from some citizens, and that our website was grossly out of date, is what I like to refer to it, and it is. So we have a company, Vero City, that has done the police, the Board of Public Works, and the parks website, so therefore they have the template for the city's website. So we will be contracting with them to redesign the website that will look much like the Board of Public Works, and the police will be very interactive. We're going to remove some of the older stuff, and we're definitely going to update some of the things that needs to be on there that's not currently, so I'm pretty excited about it. The cost of the update will be $7,900, and it will take about 22 weeks, maybe a little less, to get it updated and online. So I am asking for approval for a contract with Vero City for $7,900 to upgrade our city website.
I'll make a motion to accept the contract.
Second.
Any discussion?
Charlie.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Last item, Charles Phillips, Stephen Franke, City Manager's Report.
Actually, I'm going to jump in and go first here with the proposal.
Hang on. Can I ask you a favor?
Yeah.
Can you withdraw your motion for tonight? Because I do not want to be a no vote against this.
Actually, Colin, I was trying to tackle the website thing first.
Okay.
Yeah, can I
Yeah.
do that?
Yep.
Okay. Just because it dovetails perfectly with what Melissa was talking about.
Okay.
So we just voted to approve a contract to update the city's website. And it's needed, it's appreciated, I'm glad we're getting it done. And in light of that, Charlie and I were kind of tooling around the website a little bit. We found some other things that would be good to update as we were going through this updating process. One of them is that there's a link with all the boards and commissions, and it's at least 4 years out of date, as Jeff Lagarce is still listed on some committees and stuff, and Jeff hasn't been here in a while. There's also some dead people on there, and I know they're not coming to meetings. I'm also listed as a member of the Board of Public Works, which we all know I am not. Additionally, so when you go on the website, you can get the agendas and minutes for city council meetings, but not for other meetings. So like the utility has their own webpage, you can get all their stuff there. Similarly for the Parks Department. And I think for the library also, but that might be it. We were just thinking that it'd be great if you could get all those things in one place on the city's website. It would require extra work, but I think keeping the public up to date and really just kind of getting rid of the barriers and creating easier access to those sorts of things, it's worth the effort. And then there are some little odd items too, like for example, the minutes are listed for the city council meetings, but not the former agendas. So I mean, the agenda packets have all the good information in them, the contracts, the memos, all that kind of stuff, but those aren't in the minutes themselves. So it'd be great if both of those things were available, just so people can compare and contrast as they're going along. And yeah, I think that takes care of it. Yeah. So what we found and what we would like to see updated as the city website is being updated. And, you know, we don't have any expectation that this happens tomorrow, next week, or even next month. As Melissa said, this is the 22-week process. City managers coming back from medical leave, the city clerk's office is short-staffed. So we understand that there are constraints, but since this process is happening now, we thought now would be a good time to bring it up. So that's what we're doing.
See, I'm on board at Melissa's discretion, the clerk's office discretion.
Say that again.
I'm on board at the clerk's office discretion
At the clerk's office discretion?
with the updating of the website and as they can handle it, you know what I mean?
Okay, so you don't want to approve these specific things?
Yeah, I mean, I'm for it
I'm approving the
with her
update.
timeline.
Oh, yeah, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I gotcha. Cool. I feel awkward making the motion on the thing I presented, so.
Oh, that's okay. I'll make a motion. I make a motion to accept Councilman Franke's suggestions for the website update and also in agreement at the city, with the city manager's input.
City clerk's timeline.
Or, excuse me.
Website
Oh,
timeline.
yeah, on timeline.
James, I'm confused on, the former items haven't been listed as part of the agenda.
That was the point of making the motion,
Well,
to update the rest of the,
I think it's reasonably related to an item that was on the agenda. It might, in the past, we didn't always do the motion to amend the agenda. I mean, I suppose if you have a real concern, you could first do a motion to amend the agenda to allow it to be heard, but, I mean, if you got a majority of people that are going to vote in favor of it, if you want to jump through that hoop, you can. I hear what you're saying, Mayor, is, hey, wait a minute, that's not the way we do things now, but if the whole council's willing to, it's nothing that's like, couldn't be placed on the agenda if a majority of the council votes to do it, I guess
Right.
what I'm trying to say.
I thought it was this item, the one.
Well, that's where we're at, is Bill 23-009.
I thought they skipped to the other one.
Yeah, I asked if it was okay if we skipped ahead to the next one,
Yeah.
because we have 2 items. So we skipped ahead to the next one.
so I think we need a motion to amend the agenda and then make that motion to do that. So,
I don't know that, I'm confused why we would need to amend, because we are listed and this was in the packet.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, it does say specifically, I want to change the website, but, I mean, is it reasonably related? It's one of those things where I would suggest, if it takes away the argument, maybe you move to amend the agenda or to clarify the agenda to allow it to be done.
Can the clerk read back the motion?
Motion to approve council members Franke's request to include these items in the updating of the website and implement as a new process.
I'm okay.
Within the first time, as you see fit to put it on there.
So if you call for a vote and we say yes, then it just has to happen.
Well, we already know that the website's at least 22 weeks out.
But this will include these new suggestions.
It's an active motion. We just got to vote yes on it.
Fine.
Also,
So, read back the question again, or the motion.
I had a motion from Councilmember Phillips the motion was to approve the councilmember's request, Councilmember Franke's request, to include these items in the updating of the website and implement with the new processes. And then I just added within the website timeline.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, your second item?
I would ask that you withdraw your motion, because even though these people aren't here to vote for it, it's their right to vote no. And if so, we go on to this motion and I have to vote no, and it dies till the next time anyways. So I'm just asking you to withdraw your motion for tonight. No, I'm asking him to withdraw his motion.
So is that a hard no, Councilman?
I mean, if you both say yes, I'm going to vote no. Because I don't want to be the third person to vote on a unloaded majority. I think it's their right to vote no.
Con, I hear what you're saying and I respect what you're saying.
I will vote no. It's fine. We can do it.
Yeah, I'm just.
I thought I already voted no on this anyway.
Well,
Okay.
we keep voting no.
You voted,
Not
there
to
were
read
5 people here 2 meetings ago, you voted yes, even though they weren't here. And the logic I used then, which is the logic I'll use now, is that there are first and second readings.
Right.
I think part of the reason for that is so if people are absent, they'll have a chance to make their voices heard the next time it comes around.
Okay. Go ahead.
I will continue.
Go for it.
But thank you anyways.
No malice. I just wouldn't like everyone a chance to have a voice.
All right, thank you.
If it passes, we will at a second reading. If it doesn't pass, we'll be bringing it back again.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
First off, I'd like to point out that the recent publication of the manager's report, very, very welcome. But that was not the heart of our motion. Therefore, we're sharing our observations related to the, pardon me, 6 months ago, in early February, we brought to the council a proposal to increase transparency and accountability by instituting the monthly report from the city manager and the public that we serve. And we anticipated that such a suggestion, considered common sense best practice in organizations of all shapes and sizes, would be passed without much, if any, fanfare at all. Since that time, we've been shocked by the council's opposition, personal attacks, blaming secretarial staff, and we're grateful for the encouragement from the Hannibalians and those in this very gallery to keep working for transparency. The current meeting agenda ordinance appropriately shines lights on contracts, ordinances, appointments, etc., where updates on long-term projects and normal day-to-day operations are absent, and as an unfortunate result, citizens and the council are left in the dark. This ordinance update will increase transparency by informing both council and the public of all the good works that goes on with the city staff behind the scenes to keep Hannibal running smoothly. We have addressed council's ever-changing concerns, correspondingly amending our proposal, and we will continue to address whatever concerns arise until our ordinance update is passed. This is not a proposal for a new ordinance, as it has been at each of the 5 previous meetings. It is a proposal to update the pre-existing ordinance, Section 2-172. I suggest we all read it. We agree with Councilman McCoy that a report from the city manager to the public would be appropriate to share on the city's website the Friday before Tuesday meetings. And conveniently enough, our ordinance update would require just that, as the report would be part of the agenda packet posted to the city's website the Friday before Tuesday's meeting. We are all here to be responsive to our constituents' needs, something that I believe has been overlooked on this council time and time again. In this instance, through transparency and accountability to those who we serve. And let this council move forward as a team to communicate and evidence the good works the staffs perform on a daily basis, which provides information to help us acquire tools to build on this community's historic past and to put into place the public infrastructure for this community that our citizens deserve and require. And let me be frank, in closing, this is a requirement, not a request. This needs to be in the ordinance, and it needs to be in the agenda. That is at the heart and at the basis of this motion. Let's be perfectly clear about that. This is a requirement and not a request. Although I personally am very grateful for this recent report that's come out. And I just, we all need to see that it continues on a monthly basis. Thank you.
So, I'm not hearing any motion, so I'll move on.
So,
well, it's a bill. I'm sorry. It's a bill. Okay, bill number 23009 to follow.
Correct.
Okay. Bill number 23-007, I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a second and final reading.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Bill number 23-007, an ordinance of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to execute a $289,381 agreement with Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission State Block Grant between the City of Hannibal and the Missouri Highway Commission for the funding of the terminal renovation and drainage repairs at the Hannibal Regional Airport. Second and final reading. Councilmember.
I apologize. I should have voted yes on that.
Aye.
So we'll just do the ayes.
Aye, yeah. Councilmember Phillips.
Yes.
Councilmember Welch.
Yes.
Councilmember Beach.
Yes.
Councilmember McCoy. I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem Dobson.
Yes.
And Councilmember Franke.
Yes.
I declare bill number 23-007 duly approved and adopted on this day. Now have bill number 23-009. Need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
No.
Councilmember Phillips.
Yes.
Councilmember Welch.
No.
Councilmember Beach.
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson.
No.
And Councilmember Franke.
Yes.
Okay. Motion fails. Resolution number 2451-23. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say it.
Hey, I have discussion.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, so a few things that I didn't bring up earlier when Bianca was here, mostly because it's not her responsibility, it's the city managers. But, you know, we have this big aging hospital in Hannibal, St. Elizabeth's, and, you know, maybe it needs to be torn down. Okay, it's sad, it's unfortunate it might not get reused, but if that's what it's gonna end up being, that's what it's gonna end up being. My thing is that I didn't learn that demolition was being seriously considered again until I read the 5-year capital plan. That's ridiculous. That is utterly ridiculous, and frankly, it really makes me mad. That is a project in my ward. The last update I got about it was in February, and I said nothing about demolition. Talked about reapplying for grants and state monies, and I'm sure we're still doing that, but, you know, it's just deeply unfortunate that communication is so awful that that's how I have to learn about that. Additionally, 5-year capital plans, they're good. I'm glad they exist. They, I think everybody could admit that to some extent they're a wish list. And that's okay, because it involves a planning process, and the point isn't the plan itself, it's the planning process. And I guarantee you there's never been a 5-year plan in existence in any organization anywhere that didn't get changed, amended, almost to the point to where 5 years later it might not have been recognizable in any which way, shape, or form. And that's okay. My point is that the best way for us to turn something that's a wish list into something that could be truly useful is to have some sort of comparative analysis. You know, I'm sure the individual department directors know why individual items fell off their 5-year list, but the rest of us don't. I'd love to see a comparative analysis. You know, what happened year to year? Why did this thing fall off? Why did this thing get added? What did we learn from our failures and successes? And, you know, I look forward to hopefully seeing that in the future. So that's my discussion.
Well, just, a lot of those things are discussed by the department heads at planning and zoning when they present the planning and zoning, and that is an open meeting.
Yep.
That you're always invited to attend. As far as the old hospital, St. Elizabeth Hospital, there's still a $4 million gap in funding for that, which is before the Missouri legislature. Now, I made a trip with 3 other people to Jefferson City to talk at the governor's office to try to secure that grant. That's hopefully will be coming about. But I mean, contact Cindy O'Laughlin or Lewis Riggs.
You know what, I tell you what, Mr. Dobson, I appreciate the update. The first thing, the planning and zoning, I'm glad that that happens there. I'm saying it needs to be a part of the written report for those of us who have other jobs and responsibilities. The fact that the 2nd Ward City Council person went to Jefferson City to speak on behalf of the 3rd Ward's project without me being even alerted or invited, frankly, that's disgusting. I'm embarrassed for you. I'm embarrassed for this city. That is wrong.
He's also a councilman and mayor pro tem.
Mayor pro tem has no additional responsibilities or
I had no
abilities.
idea.
I went down in the place of the mayor.
Okay,
Because he
where was
couldn't
my
get away.
invite? It's my ward's project. The mayor seems to be incapacitated a lot lately.
Okay, so we're on the resolution 245123. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and call the roll for adoption.
I'll move.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Resolution number 2451-23, a resolution of the City of Hannibal, Missouri, approving and adopting the 5-year capital improvement program for the years 2024 through 2028. Councilmember Phillips,
Yes.
Councilmember Welch,
Yes.
Councilmember Beach,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson.
Yes.
And Councilmember Franke.
Yes.
I declare resolution number 2451-23 duly approved and adopted on this day. have resolution number 2452-23. Need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and call roll for adoption.
Before we get to that, I would like to go to all these meetings as well. I think if we could invite all the council to go and lobby for the reason and let them know that every single one of the council would like to support the.
This was something that was organized by Corey.
Cool.
Who? Corey Mahaffey?
Yeah, so I just like to be notified before we do that, so I can go as well.
So I'm looking for a motion to approve resolution number 2452-23.
Make a motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Resolution number 2452-23, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement for the transfer of real estate and special warranty deed to sell city-owned property known as 1214 Lion in the amount of $575 to Clifford Wood, DBA CWAW Rental Properties LLC. Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Councilmember Welch?
Yes.
Councilmember Beach?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
And Councilmember Franke?
Yes.
I declare resolution number 2452-23 duly approved and adopted on this day. Got resolution number 2453-23. I need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and call the roll for adoption.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution number 2453-23, a resolution authorizing a one-year agreement renewing and subsequent term of 30 days for implementation, application hosting, technology support services between the City of Hannibal and Cassell Incorporated in the amount provided for in the attached hereto. Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Councilmember Welch?
Yes.
Councilmember Beach?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
And Councilmember Franke?
Yes.
I declare resolution number 2453-23 duly approved and adopted on this day. Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you. Just for the record,